Hello everyone, Simon here. Welcome back to the channel. In this short video we will be talking about the SEISS, the Self-Employed Income Support Scheme, what it is, whether you are eligible and when the next instalment will be available. As always, before we get started guys, please click the thumbs up button to like the video, as this will help me out immensely with the YouTube's search algorithm and get my videos in front of more people like yourself who want content like this. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more content and click the bell icon for notifications of new uploads. So, what is the Self-Employed Income Support Scheme? Well, basically it's a government-funded taxable grant given to those people who are self-employed who have been adversely affected by the coronavirus pandemic. So far, there have been 3 grants made available covering the period from March 2020 until January 2021. The first of which covered the period March to July 2020. The second grant became available in September, covering August to October 2020. And the third grant was made available in November and covered November 2020 to January 2021. The scheme has since been extended, and the next available grants should be February to cover February, March and April of this year. So, who is eligible for the Self-Employed Income Support Grant? Basically, anybody who was self-employed from 2019 to 2020 and completed a self-assessment tax return for the same period. The following criteria would also need to be met. Your net profits did not exceed £50,000 for the year. You intended to continue trading in this tax year, 2020 to 2021, for at least part of the remainder of the year, or would do so but for coronavirus. And you carry on a trade which has been adversely affected by the coronavirus. For the first grant, you needed to have been adversely affected at some point on or before the 13th of July 2020. For the second grant, you needed to have been adversely affected at some point on or after the 14th of July 2020, up to the closure of claims for the second grant on the 19th of October 2020. For the third grant, you needed to have been adversely affected at some point on or after the 1st of November 2020. Now, based on the previous criteria, it would seem likely that to qualify for the fourth grant, your business will need to be adversely affected at some point on or after the 31st of January 2021. So, how much is available? Well, for the first grant, 80% of average monthly trading profits, covering a 3-month period up to a maximum of $7,500 was available. For the second grant, this was reduced to 75%, covering a 3-month period, up to a maximum of £6,570. And for the third grant, this was initially reduced to 20%, but quickly changed to the rather generous 80% offered for the first grant. When will the fourth grant be available, and how much will be available? Well, based on the previous grants, the fourth grant should be available to claim from the beginning of March. But whereas details of the amount available have always been announced a number of weeks prior to the application opening date, it's recently been announced by the government that the amount will not be determined until the next budget, which is set for the 3rd of March. Now, this date shouldn't affect the actual payment date at all, but it does mean that people will not really know where they stand in terms of expectations and for budgeting purposes, as they have done previously, and they're left somewhat in a state of limbo. Now, Martin Lewis from Money Saving Expert said of the decision,
"Now for me, that does seem to be unnecessarily cruel to make people who are in dire financial need of support in the midst of this horrible coronavirus pandemic wait on tenterhooks to see what money they're going to get. Stops them planning, stops them budgeting, stops them having legitimate expectations, and managing expectations in this time is absolutely crucial."
A spokesperson for the Treasury told the Daily Express that details of the fourth Self-Employed Income Support Scheme grant will be outlined at budget. Martin Lewis also went on to consider what the choice of timing with regards to the announcement could mean for those people who have so far been excluded from coronavirus support schemes. He suggested that it could be that announcing the details at budget may be due to operational changes to the fourth grant that will hopefully see more people getting help. So that means there could be hope for those people who have previously been excluded. Does the grant need to be paid back? Well, the good news is that the grant will not need to be paid back, but it will be taxable. So this means that you will need to include it as income received in your 2021 to 2022 tax return and pay tax on it as you would any other income. If you haven't claimed the third grant yet, then you only have until the 31st of January 2021 to do so. It's an incredibly simple process, so be sure to do it ASAP. I'll leave a link to the application in the comment section down below. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. And please guys, don't forget to click the thumbs up button.